Okay guys, another thing that I would like to show you, it's pretty interesting if we have a look at the consumption of the aircraft. So the handbook gives me, for the current power setting, current torque and prop and so on, and flight level and altitude and outside air temperature for that altitude, it says I should be consuming between 240 and 255 pounds per hour. Okay, so if we now have a look at the fuel quantity indication here and the fuel flow indication, we can see that this scale here is listed in pounds, obviously. So according to the graph, we should have around 2 times 350, so around, let's say, 700 650 pounds of fuel on board. If we look down at those two numbers here, it indicates 52, a total of 104. The fuel flow in pounds per hour is 37. So what? Question mark. Okay, so this is definitely not working here. So what we can do is, if we open up the auxiliary page here and we go to, or if we stay here, we will see that the summary page on trip planning page shows me a fuel flow of 36.7 gallons per hour. So this is gallons per hour, and the fuel on board is 103.2 gallons. Okay, so obviously this is not a pounds indication, this is gallons. Okay, so that's, is a little bit more transparent now. So we have a scale here that is totally not right, but we have numbers that are, they look good. If we go to the 4th page now, where I showed you before how you can change the time format, there is also the possibility to change the fuel indication here. So if we select here pounds per hour or pounds, and we go back to the trip planning page, to the summary page more or less here, we see that we have a fuel flow of 220 pounds per hour and a fuel on board of 615. So that corresponds then to this indication here. The fuel flow of 220 is also about what we should have according to the handbook. So again, according to handbook, we should have between 240 and 250, but it's much warmer here than the handbook suggests. So therefore I assume that we are consuming a little bit less due to the warmer air. But yeah, it's about the amount that we should have, and also the total amount on board of fuel, according to the scale at least here, to this 2 times about 350, as we said before, that corresponds to that. So in this case we have simply 2 scales, or two variations of presenting the same information in the same picture, which creates a lot of confusion. So if you're not sure what you want to see here, change the units in the auxiliary part here on the 4th page. I like to stick actually to the gallons thing. So I found this way to be much more understandable for me, because it represents also the numbers that are shown. So this is the reason for this little confusion on the fuel page. I just wanted to give you my insights on that. Okay, welcome back, guys. So we just initiated the descent. In front of us, I think this should already be the Martinique island. Currently we're descending with 2,000 feet per minute.
Overspeed.
And we're hitting an overspeed warning, obviously.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Okay,
Overspeed.
so let's reduce the power a little
Overspeed.
bit. In about 8 minutes we'll be here at Delta Oscar Mike, where we should have about 7,000 feet. At Fox Oscar Fox we should be at 5,000 feet. So we have a little bit of time. Doesn't look too bad. I'm using a manual descent here, so I'm going to control everything. It should work perfectly. Let's hit 5,000 already. Well, what can we prepare? If we have a look at the chart of our approach, we will hit this Fox Oscar Fox initial approach fix, make a left turn and intercept the racetrack here on 5,000 feet, and we'll fly here along on this track, make a left turn then, and turn back to our to the runway. We'll be flying at around, we'll reduce the speed down. We have 170 knots for category A and B aircraft, so we'll try to stick to that. Probably we'll go to fly 150 knots or so. 170 would also work, so, but yeah, we'll see. There is no other thing that we need to focus on here except for the initial approach fix frequency, and yeah, we have it tuned in, so we're going to fly the FMS thing here. During this turn we will also descend to or when we fly this outbound leg here, we're going to descend down to 2,000 feet, and the rest will be flown on 2,000 feet. Minimum descent altitude for this leg is going to be 1,000 feet. That's fine. We can tune in that already. This is here on the reference page. We should have a minimum, and barrel we're gonna set that to 1,000. I think we can decrease the rate of descent here. We're fast enough. 1,000 feet and 10. Okay, that looks good. So yeah, we'll be flying the racetrack here, the NDB here, and then we simply land. Another thing that we could have a look at already is where we are going to park. So let me pull up the parking chart here really quick. Okay, there we have it. This is the airport chart. We'll be landing here in runway 10, probably vacate via Charlie already, and try to taxi along here to this general aviation area. And about the parking, this is basically how the parking looks. So we arrive here at Charlie, and then we'll try to park somewhere over here, and yeah, shouldn't be too much of a problem. So see you in the approach then. Yeah, we've descended down to 7,000, and we're currently flying down to the south to Fox Oscar Fox, so we have a little time. I just discovered a problem. This is Martinique in the front, by the way. Obviously I didn't think about the setup of the Meridian. We are not going to do the NDB approach because, well, we don't have an NDB installed. So this is simply missing in this aircraft. Also in the real aircraft, I think you need to have an external NDB or ADF receiving unit. So therefore we cannot fly this approach, at least not with a raw data. We're going to fly it on via the FMS. So we're going to simulate the receiving of the ADF of the NDB. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. I totally forgot about that, but yeah, anyway, we will be able to descend, we will be able to land, so stay tuned for the landing. I think for the approach preparation it's pretty easy. We've talked about that. We'll make the racetrack here and simply land. As you see, the visibility here is pretty good. We have some cloud layers up there, but there seems to be no fog or anything like that, so it's going to be almost a visual landing over at the Martinique Island. So see you then in the approach. Okay guys, welcome back. As you see, we are approaching Foxtrot, Oscar Foxtrot here. Let's zoom in a little. And yeah, you see there's a total mix up on, but this doesn't look too bad. We're going to fly this more or less with the FMS support. The speed is good. We should be here at 5,000 feet. We have 2 minutes 40 seconds to go. Therefore, I will initiate the descent now to 5,000 with the vertical speed mode and select 1,000 down. That should give us, that will take us 2,000 feet in 2 minutes down. That's good.
Overspeed.
Also,
Overspeed.
and again, they're overspeed. Sorry for that. Forgot to reduce more.
Overspeed.
The turbine
Overspeed.
is obviously
Overspeed.
a little bit. It takes a little time to respond to your power input. Therefore, it's you need to think ahead a little bit. I also turned on what I wanted to say. I turned on the terrain mode here on the map because I know that there are some mountains here. If we look out, we have a cloud layer below us, so we don't really see a lot. Therefore, I turn on the terrain mode. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be flying at around 170 knots, which should be good. Yeah. Landing speed for this aircraft. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute then. So you see that there are some terrainy areas coming up already. So it was a good idea to turn on that. Let's see if we look down here. Can we see something already? There is a city. Yeah, the airport is just in front of us, and now we see it. Oops, there is the airport. So we need a little. We need to descend a little bit more. We are going to hit that really good. So really, we are going to really focus on the map afterwards, and should be a good approach then. So I think we switch over to the heading mode now. And yeah, that looks good. And we'll turn then to its. Let me see. Is this? This is the NDB, right? No, this is the NDB. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we need to. So we commence the turn now. And enter the racetrack. There is the airport down below us. This is the general aviation area. This is where we're going to park. Perfect. So we made it, at least. We found the airport. So we are going to follow the racetrack here. At least we're going to try to follow it. It's pretty flat. There are not so many mountains. I thought there were more, but it's not that mountainous here, so it should be good. This is a big racetrack for a small aircraft. Yeah, we need to follow it, or we are, at least we're training and we're trying to follow it. Should be good training for us. Obviously this makes more sense to fly it with raw data. That means you're really focusing on distances and VOR and NDB items. I'm now actually plotting the whole the chart more or less on the map, so this is pretty easy to follow the lines. Yeah, but it's also good fun. So when we are on the inbound track here, we are going to set the new altitude of 2,000 feet, and we're gonna decrease our descent, increase our descent rate to 1,000 feet per minute. And yeah, looks good. Nice island. It's a little cloudy, but it's not too bad. It's no factor for us actually. Okay, so let's cut this corner here. You know what, guys? I'm going to fly manually. Autopilot coming off. Now it's off. Gonna do that manually now. Really nice trimmed. And we commence the turn now. Let's make a standard rate turn. We need to focus on the magenta thing here. This is a standard rate turn now, almost. I'm descending. We're speeding a little due to the descending, so keep the nose up. Yeah, 200, almost 200 feet, that's not too bad, but also not the best. Keep the turn, keep the standard rate turn. And then we can select new altitude, 2,000 feet, sorry.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
We can. This is not perfectly flown now. We're gonna reduce the power back. We try to aim for 1,000 feet, which is, I think, a little bit too much actually. So we should try to aim for 500 or so. 1,000. No, 2,000. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Oops. Need to do a little trimming here. Of course, doesn't look too bad. We're flying GPS mode here. Good. So, what else have we got? Yeah, flaps and stuff like that. We'll do that later on. We got another minute. We should be at around 2000 when we initiate the left turn to 231 degrees, I think it was. So that doesn't look too bad. Still hand flown everything. Really nice scenery here. I mean, a lot of blue, a lot of water, but that's fine. I mean, we could initiate the turn already, but we're too close to the city, so we stick to the chart for now. We're approaching the point already, so another minute or so to go, and we should initiate our turn. We'll be flying on heading 230 for about half an hour. Sorry, half a minute, 30 seconds, and then we'll initiate a right turn and intercept our inbound track. I'm not sticking to any IFR real world rules now. I'm flying, yeah, this is for fun, so feel free to comment me on my flying. Okay, we're approaching 2000, a little bit off course, not too bad. 20 seconds. There's 2000. Really good. Really nice done. Nicely done. Okay, and we can initiate the turn now. 230. Standard rate. Try to fly standard rate at least. We're not going to set a timer. Whoops, there was 230, sorry, missed that. And I think we can already start actually the descent to 1,000 feet. Let's try to fly around 30 seconds. I'm looking at a watch here. Can use the power a little bit. I think we can turn right now. We're a small aircraft, so should be possible for us to make this turn in time. Now we're climbing, sorry. Okay, pull back the power a little bit more. To descend to 1,000 feet. That is our minimum descent altitude. We cannot go below that if we don't see the runway, but I think today's weather will not be a big problem here. Landing speed will be around 85, so about our this is also the bulk landing speed. So pretty low actually. This looks very low. Let's apply a little bit of power, try to stay here, and let's intercept and find our runway. Must be somewhere on our 12 or almost 12 o'clock position. Let's look. Yeah, should be somewhere over there in front of us. I think we'll find it. Oh, we're ascending back up. Pull back the power a little to achieve 150 or so. We can pull down the flaps at 170, so we could already go flaps 10. But yeah, we don't need it. wait another minute. So, any other checks? Yeah, obviously we forgot landing lights. It's not so important. Mixture is rich. All the other things are set. I can see the runway now, so we can continue our approach. Definitely see the runway. And we're gonna go flaps 10 now. We'll wait with the gear another minute or so. There we are. This is the runway in front of us. So we'll try to vacate at the first to the left. I think it was the first. It was Bravo, wasn't it? Or Charlie? And we'll taxi to the general aviation parking over there. So that should be good. A little bit low. Let's pull up nose a little. And we can go gear down. Gear is in transition. Let's wait for, there's one green, there is 3 greens, perfect. We need to apply power now. Trim up the aircraft a little. So, okay, doesn't look too bad. Let's see. Just had to cut the video. I had a problem with the joystick, but now it's responding again. Okay, so we're a little bit too low now because of the problem. Now we're back on track. So you definitely should go by this scenery. It's really nice. Doesn't look too bad. We're a little bit low on the puppy here. Speed is also now running away a little bit, but now we're capturing it back. That looks good now. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Gonna hold that speed until reaching the threshold, and then we'll pull back on the power and the aircraft will do the rest. Okay, looks good. We can reduce the power a little bit. Keep the nose up though. Okay. There goes 90, really good. Looks perfect. A little bit too low on the puppy, but doesn't matter too much. Yeah, that looks good. There's the threshold. Back on the power now. Hold up the nose. Let it float, let it float. Let her do the work. Really good. Perfect. Hit the brakes a little. She wants it. Okay. Was a little off. So this is not the first exit that we should take, is it? No. Okay, flaps up. Gonna continue to the next exit. Let's see, I think this is the exit where we should be able to get out. Whoops. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting flight. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, we had some problems with this aircraft. You've seen that the FMS is, or the G1000 thing is really strange. It's not working as, yeah, it's not the best modeled G1000 probably. There are other CARENADO products that are much more accurate on the Garmin G1000 thing. There are very important things missing, like the activation of any lag in the flight plan. Again, if you know how to do that and if I'm just doing it wrong, let me know. Another thing that I don't like is this whole unit thing here. You have, if you remember back to the part on the cruise where we had the fuel quantity that is shown in gallons, and also the scale here is also pounds per hour and stuff like that. That is really annoying. Yeah, I think there are possible solutions probably out there. Maybe this is going to be fixed. Maybe I'm the only one who has these problems. I don't know. So you know what, guys, we're going to park up here, right here, just somewhere to have a nice view on the scenery. So I'm not doing it correctly now. And yeah, let's park up here. Hit the brakes. Parking brake is set. Power back. And then we need to switch off the avionics. We can disable these things here. And then we cut off the engine. Fuel pumps can stay on auto. Pitot heat goes off, strobe light goes off. Everything goes to off, perfect. And then we can open the passenger door. Yeah, welcome guys to our destination, Tango Foxtrot Foxtrot Foxtrot. The airport Aimé de Césaire here in the Martinique. It has been a really nice flight with this aircraft, even though we had some issues. Altogether, I like this aircraft. It is very nicely done, very nicely modeled. The G1000, in my opinion, needs a lot of correction, a lot of improvement, but probably there will be an update or so where they fix that. The scenery, yeah, beautiful, tropical sim, Martinique, Aimé de Césaire. There's also a possibility to come here with a big airliner. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is part 1. I'm probably going to do a return flight with this aircraft, and I hope you liked it. If you did so, I would be happy if you leave a thumbs up, if you subscribed for more. You can definitely share any thoughts that you have on this video in the description, in the comments below. And yeah, I would be glad to see you again in the next video. Until that, I wish you a nice remaining day, a nice evening, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.